What can you tell me about what's going on with the Pentagon? What do you have have you in the course of your reporting heard any theories as to like what is the value? Is Donald Trump just doing this out of spite? Are there other members of the administration who are like, well, he wants to do it out of spite, but it's also going to like set Biden back, 4 to 6 weeks, because it's one thing for him to leave Mike Esper in there. It's another to leave in, guys who were calling Barack Obama a secret Muslim.
So at The Intercept, we've been doing some reporting on this over the past several weeks, and it appears like a version of this, has been planned, regardless of the election outcome. That if he lost, there was all sorts of opportunities for the kind of mischief that you're talking about. And also the kind of mischief that would be much more relevant if the election were closer, and and he had a chance to kind of steal it. But so those he had those plans on the shelves, and at the same time, if he was reelected, it was going to be a kind of gloves off second term Trump, where he really went to war with his deep state enemies, and in order to win that war was plotting to decapitate the not just the Pentagon, CIA, and elsewhere, and try to put loyalists in there. Although he's kind of running out of 25-year-olds that he can put into these places consistently. So maybe fortunately for him, he's running out of runway, as this is just going to run through January. Now, the way that it's being talked about internally is that he very much wants to get the troops home from Afghanistan by Christmas, and that this is going to help him do that. That's kind of the way that his loyalists are selling this internally, and arguing that a lot of the Pentagon brass might try to use the lame duck to drag their feet to keep troops in Afghanistan to a point where then they can they can pressure Biden to keep that endless war going that much longer. And I don't think we should completely dismiss that. I think that as a matter of fact, that is in general what Pentagon brass does when it comes to this particular war, and wars in general. Whether that's Trump's leading motivating factor is quite dubious.
Right. I was going to say, like, I'm fully. It's not hard for me to accept the fact that that a military that's been occupying that country now for 20 years is still interested in maintaining that. There's a lot of people making a lot of money off of
right.
That,
they want another 20 or so.
But the idea that Donald Trump's like, I want to do one good thing before I leave, or I really care that much about policy, and that's what I want my legacy to be. I find that a little bit hard to believe. But
right. But all the incentives are lined up in the same direction. It's also a chance for him to scratch a grievance that he's long held against those folks. I mean, we had a bunch of reporting a month ago that he talks trash about the military constantly. He's kind of impressed and in awe of some of these generals, the beefy, handsome ones, but at the same time, he thinks they're all idiots and losers, and are just looking for their next paycheck, from Raytheon. So this is a way for him to kind of scratch that itch as well.
All right. So just to be clear, this is more fetishistic than fascist. On some level, for him firing these people. I really do think he just gets off with it. I think he really just gets off on the idea that he could fire these people.